Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host on, and welcome back to the Baseball Head. And hope you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So we're going to talk about this in this video, what's going on with the Mets, just to give you another update, because there's a lot of players that have been coming off the board in the last few hours, in the last 24 hours, and we're going to get into it. It's very interesting. First of all, Paul Goldschmidt signed with the Yankees today, which for 1 year, $14.25 million, 12.3. I'm all right. I'll get it right. Hello. He signed a 1 year deal for $12.75 million. I'll get it right. I could edit this, but I don't want to. And Carlos Santana signed a contract, a 1 year deal. I don't have the money off the top of my head, with the Cleveland Guardians to play first base. Before that, a few hours before that, or an hour before that, the Guardians traded Josh Naylor to the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we're starting to see some first basemen coming off the boards. I mean, you're getting to see all these guys getting signed. We know that Christian Walker signed with the Astros on Friday, and now we're here sitting waiting for Pete Alonso. And there was all kinds of rumors tonight. And I'm sure if you're on X, there were all kinds of rumors about it. Now, I was very busy today, so I wasn't able to talk. There's so much stuff happening in baseball. And some of it's not great, you know. I can't tell you how heartbroken I am that Rickey Henderson passed away. I looked up to him when I was a kid, and then watching him play when he was with the Mets, I can't tell you how heartbroken I am, really. You know, and so there's a lot that's happened today, and just varying things of all over the place, emotions today. I'll have a video on him either today or tomorrow for you on the Baseball Hut too. I have to think about it. So a lot of stuff's going on with the Mets. And one of the things when I talked about, and if you paid attention, I am at the Baseball Hut on X, as the Baseball Hut, at the Baseball Hut on X, and I'll put the link in the description. Please follow me there. They'll do a lot of stuff there. But anyway, a lot of rumors are popping up today that the Mets were not only talking about bringing back Pete, but they're also talking about signing Alonso and Bregman, doing both of it. I was very surprised to see that when I saw it. I had a chance to comment on it or talk about it with you. That would certainly give the Mets a very strong lineup, obviously. I know from what I've read from different accounts that I follow on X that the Mets are not too keen on giving Bregman a contract based on the fact that it's a little complicated. I guess when you sign additional players with qualifying offers, there's an extra penalty towards it, which I think is BS. You know, it's all about hampering Steve Cohen. But I thought it was interesting that both names popped up tonight as players that the Mets could sign. Now, I mentioned these first basemen that's signed, they got traded over the last couple of days. Pete Alonso is running out of teams to play for. Okay? He's not going to the Yankees. He's not going to the Guardians. He's not going to Houston. Doesn't seem like Seattle's all that interested in him. So I would think, well, I've heard also that this thing on Pete's is gonna pop soon. That's my words, nobody else's words. That it's gonna happen. I would think probably before Christmas. I was thinking that maybe this was gonna go after Christmas, but since all these other players have come off the board, these three particular first basemen came off the board, I thought, well, you know what? I think that the most obvious thing is that Pete should just come back home. Just come back to the Mets, sign a contract. I thought in the previous video talking about Paul Goldschmidt that he was going to want 2 years. He only got 1 year from the Yankees. And Christian Walker only got 3 years from the Astros. I would think that Pete is probably going to have to take a 5-year deal out of the Mets. And that's a real downer for him because he had a 7-year deal on the table and he didn't take it. But I did say, and I've been saying this for a long time, that his value for the Mets is higher than any other team. No team will value him as much as the Mets do, as much as we do. and he should just return here. And he basically lives locally. He lives on Long Island, from what I understand. He went to, believe it or not, last week they had Saturday night main event on NBC, and he was at the event, which I think was at the Nassau Coliseum. So he's very much a local here. He's a local on Long Island. So there's no reason for him to leave a place that he obviously loves. He loves the team. He loves us, and he just wants to, be a Met, and he should just sit down with the club and just hammer a deal out. And like I said, he's not going to have any more value as high as he would be here. And there are things that he needs to accomplish still as a player. One of those things he needs to accomplish is win a World Series. Okay? And they came very close to getting to the World Series last year. They were 2 wins away. He needs to have that part of his resume. Interesting, and if you're watching this video, remember this. You haven't heard this anywhere else. There's an interesting trivia question about the Mets. Every Met that won the Rookie of the Year as a Met played in the World Series for the Mets at one point or another, except Pete Alonso. He has not played in the World Series yet, and he's not played in the World Series with the Mets. Every other player that has won a Rookie of the Year went to play in the World Series with the Mets. Look it up. You'll see it. You won't believe it. Every Met Rookie of the Year played in the World Series for the Mets. So that is something Pete has to accomplish. If he leaves, he will break that. Be that as it may. Alonso Bregman. He is up with this contract. And he has a contract. And from what I understand, the Mets are very interested in him. They're extremely interested in him. He's a very talented player. He's not a middle of the order guy. He's more the sixth hitter, 7th hitter in my opinion, at this point in his career. He's a very good defensive third baseman. He's a winning player. He's the kind of guy that fills your lineup up. He's a professional hitter, professional player. You need to put him on a team that has a really good lineup now. In his career, he had a good lineup. The team was broken up a little bit. And obviously with them signing Christian Walker and having Isaac Paredes, he's not going to be on the Astros anymore. And he's running out of teams to go to too. Because he's not a big home run hitter. That's the one thing about him. He's a tweener. He's not a big home run hitter. He's not a high batting average hitter. But he's a player that's got intangibles. And he's a very good defensive third baseman. And you want good players to help you win. And he's the kind of player that's a winning player. But he's not a player you build your team around. He's a core guy, but not how do I describe it? He's not indispensable. In my view, Pete Alonso is indispensable because he's been here a long time and he's done it here with the club. And I think that the light has gone back on in his head about being a clutch hitter again. So I think it's a little bit different looking at it. And plus, he wasn't with the Mets. He wasn't with other teams, been with the Astros. Could I see them doing both? Yes. But then you have to ask yourself if they're going to put Mark Vientos at DH. That's a possibility. That would certainly give the Mets an extremely powerful lineup. You have Lindor. I'm just going to do Lindor, Soto, Vientos, Alonso, Nimmo, and Bregman. And then you got the bottom of the lineup with Alvarez and the other two, whoever the other two players are. What the center fielder is and the second baseman is. Either Jeff McNeil's here or not here. This is a very powerful lineup with those two guys in it with Vientos. But do the Mets want to put Vientos as DH? I don't know if they want to do that. But that is what's great about being a Met fan these days is they're open for business. They can do anything they want. Now, I would mention, of course, the Mets need pitching. It doesn't seem that they're in on any pitchers. And then probably Sean Manaea, from what I could tell. It doesn't seem that David Stearns really wants to sign any big pitchers to any big contracts. And you know what? That's kind of smart. You're better off. Now, if you had Unless his rookie is Sasaki. That's a different story. And they met with him on Thursday. Sasaki's a different story because he's 23 years old. All these other guys are in their 30s, 31, 32, 33. I think they really had the appetite of bringing in guys that are going to break down. And there are some sort of warning signs about Corbin Burnes, about his velocity coming down, not striking out nearly as many batters. So there is issues there that the Mets have to sort of, and of course, as you know, David Stearns knows that pitcher. Certainly knows him really well. But there's a lot going on. And I hope that I can get a video out to you tomorrow. I can't promise you. Probably won't be able to get to do a video no earlier than 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow. I always let you know if I can, so that you don't think that I'm like slacking. I never slack. Never. I always know what's going on at all times. So, but if you want to follow me on a regular basis and know what's going on in baseball, follow me on X at the Baseball Hut. And I'll put the link in the description underneath this video. And of course, I want to thank you for coming by. I also want to send my condolences to Rickey Henderson and his family. I will have a video on him at some point on the Baseball Hut Tub. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I am completely heartbroken by it. I really am. One of my favorite players to watch as a kid, and to be able to watch him for that 1 year with the Mets was just a joy. It really was for me. He was a lot of fun to watch, and what a fun character that we lost today. So, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you later.